Hi, 72 Daystar, out for a walk and vlog. You know, I like to try to hit on some of the things that I don't think any other YouTuber atheist has hit on, and other lines of evidence that maybe others have not explored. One of them occurred to me today as I was being told that I didn't know what I was talking about by theists, and it wasn't the first time that happened. One of the things that occurred to me at that point was, wow, what if I said this to my students? I'm a language teacher, so if I went to class and some student raised his hand and explained how he thought such and such a word worked, or what such and such a word meant, sorry, and I corrected him in such a harsh way that you don't know what you're talking about. That's not the past tense of mean, and so forth. If I was really that unwelcoming to error, I think soon you'd see that people didn't want to attend my classes, or people would tend to reject what I said. I think if you did have the honest truth, you know, if I did have a good knowledge of English and the means through which to teach it, that I could afford to take a sort of approach where I would be welcoming of mistakes and yet patient and willing to co-construct knowledge together. It's like, okay, well, you've got this. You're in the ballpark. You've got, I can understand why you would think that, but consider this. That sort of approach where you have this honest pedagogical approach where the honest end of it is to help the person understand something. Yet, that is such a rare exception when I talk to Christians online. Instead, a lot of times they tend to get hostile. Even a guy who is making the pretense of, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but in the end of it, he had to imply that I was just a lazy thinker in the end. There seems to be that telltale that they do seem threatened. And he began his piece by saying, oh, I think atheists are threatened, and then he had to insult me. I think that insulting is telltale of the feeling of that threat. I think a thing that would be supportive of the veracity of some position, of some belief system, was that we could afford to be charitable and afford to be honest in our presentation, and not hostile. I think that would add strength to the atheist position, and I think where I do see that, and I did concede that to the person I was discussing this with, that sometimes, if not young atheists that have recently sort of owned their atheism, in some cases you do see that sort of hostility. I think it's the nascency of that belief system that is telltale if it's sort of undeveloped form. Anyways, welcome any thoughts below. 72 Daystar, out.